5 Forbidden Places Humans Were Never Meant to Enter, Part 3. Part 1 Gates to the Unknown. There are doors on this earth that humans are not meant to open. Not because they are locked with metal or guards. Not because they are hidden behind signs. But because they exist beyond our comprehension. We cannot explain why these places feel wrong. Why the air seems heavier. Why our curiosity fights with an instinctive hesitation. Part 3 of this series explores forbidden locations that actively resist human presence, places where entry feels like a violation of nature itself, and where the earth appears to reclaim authority over those who dare approach. As you listen, allow your mind to slow. Let the tension be soft. This is not meant to alarm you, it is meant to weave unease gently, guiding your mind toward contemplative stillness. Forbidden Place Number 1: the Mariana Trench, Pacific Ocean. At the western edge of the Pacific lies the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the world's oceans. It is a place humanity has visited only in pieces. Robotic submersibles descend into darkness, transmitting faint images back to the surface. And even with technology, most of it remains unseen, unexplored, unreachable. The trench plunges nearly 11,000 meters below the ocean surface. Pressure there is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level. Even the strongest submarines struggle to survive. What makes it forbidden is not just the depth. It is what we cannot detect. Strange creatures glow in the abyss. Unknown forms drift through darkness, defying conventional biology. Hydrothermal vents create pockets of life without sunlight. Currents move like invisible rivers, capable of sweeping away a vessel or diver in an instant. Many explorers report something else: a psychological effect. The weight of absolute darkness, the silence of water, and the knowledge of immense pressure creates disorientation and fear. Humans instinctively avoid staying long. Even cameras fail to capture the reality of the trench. Some things seem better left unseen. The Mariana Trench is forbidden by depth, pressure, and mystery. A place where human presence is fleeting, tentative, and incomplete. Forbidden Place Number 2: the Siberian Craters, Yamal, Russia. In the frozen tundra of Siberia, strange craters have begun appearing in recent decades. The most famous is in Yamal, often called the End of the World crater. These massive holes, hundreds of feet wide and deep, appear almost overnight. They are caused by explosions from methane gas eruptions, trapped beneath layers of permafrost. Locals speak of strange phenomena before the craters appear. Unusual animal behavior. Sudden shifts in temperature. Rumbling sounds beneath the snow. Scientists have documented the craters, yet the area remains largely off-limits. The frozen ground is unstable. Further eruptions are unpredictable. Approaching the edge of a crater is physically and psychologically dangerous. The cold air holds a subtle vibration. The ground shifts. The wind carries the faint, unsettling smell of gas. These craters are forbidden because they are alive in their own way. They are Earth's reminders that some places remain too unstable for human interference. Forbidden Place Number 3, North Sentinel Island, India. In the Bay of Bengal lies North Sentinel Island. Home to the Sentinelese people, one of the last uncontacted tribes in the world. No outsider may legally set foot on the island. No ships are allowed to approach within a certain distance. Violating this law is considered extremely dangerous. Not because of wild animals, but because of human resistance. The Sentinelese have lived on the island for thousands of years. They remain fiercely protective of their home. Contact attempts have ended in violence. Even satellite images reveal only hints. Dense jungle. Coastal beaches. Signs of activity, yet no infrastructure. The island is forbidden because it is so alive, so preserved, that human contact threatens everything. There is a paradox here. The only way to respect life is to avoid it entirely. For many, North Sentinel Island represents a living boundary, a warning that some cultures must remain untouched. Forbidden Place Number 4, Mount Erebus, Antarctica. Antarctica is a land of extremes. But Mount Erebus, an active volcano, holds a special level of danger. The summit contains a persistent lava lake, a rare geological phenomenon. Despite the cold, the mountain constantly emits gas and ash. Rough winds, crevasses, and sudden storms make travel nearly impossible. Research teams have visited Erebus, but only with extreme caution. Even helicopters struggle with the harsh air. The ground is unpredictable. The temperature difference between the lava lake and ice creates violent turbulence. Erebus is forbidden in a subtle sense. Not just for its physical threat, but because it operates on its own rhythm, ignoring human plans or schedules. Those who attempt to climb it report strange sensations. Feeling watched by the mountain itself. Unearthly echoes from the crater. Sudden mental fatigue. Erebus teaches that some natural phenomena are beyond control. Human ambition is no match for the raw forces of Earth. Forbidden Place Number 5, Snake Island, Ilha de Queimada Grande, Brazil. Off the coast of Brazil lies Snake Island. The island is home to one of the deadliest snakes in the world, the golden lancehead viper. Density estimates suggest 1 snake per square meter in some areas. Visiting the island is strictly prohibited by the Brazilian government. Not because of human error, but because the species cannot survive if humans interfere. Researchers report unsettling experiences even with protective suits. The snakes seem to anticipate movement. They appear in unexpected places. Some survivors describe a feeling of being hunted, despite precautions. Snake Island is forbidden because of biological dominance. It is one of the few locations where humans must yield completely to nature. Why these places resist humans? The Mariana Trench, Siberian craters, North Sentinel Island, Mount Erebus, Snake Island. They differ in climate, terrain, and threat. Yet they share a common thread: human presence is unnatural here. Some reject entry with force, some with silence, some with legal or ethical barriers. All of them remind us that curiosity has limits, that not everything is meant to be conquered, recorded, or controlled. Sleep now, gently. Let your mind rest on the idea that some doors remain closed for good reasons. These places will endure, long after we are gone. And for now, that is enough. Part 2: Realms Beyond Reach. Some forbidden places are not defined by danger alone. They are defined by history, memory, and the subtle weight of human absence. In this part, we move from natural boundaries to locations where human presence itself is forbidden, not by force, but by law, ethics, or survival instinct. These are zones where humanity must yield, where curiosity is tempered by wisdom. As you listen, let your mind drift slowly. The tension is soft, deliberate, and hypnotic. You are not being rushed. You are being guided through spaces that do not belong to us. Forbidden Place Number 6: Bohemian Grove, United States. In Northern California, hidden within the redwood forest, lies Bohemian Grove. A 2,700-acre property, privately owned, and off-limits to the public. Every year, for 2 weeks, a secretive society gathers. Men of immense influence participate in rituals and gatherings the outside world never sees. No outsider may enter. No cameras are allowed. Security patrols are strict. For decades, journalists and researchers have tried to document what happens inside. Some report strange ceremonies, elaborate wooden statues, a pervasive sense of ritualized secrecy. It is forbidden not by danger, but by power and exclusivity. The Grove is a reminder that some human spaces are intentionally inaccessible, and curiosity alone is not enough to grant entry. Forbidden Place Number 7: The Zone of Exclusion, Pripyat, Ukraine. Beyond Chernobyl, there lies Pripyat, a city abandoned almost instantly after the 1986 nuclear disaster. Homes, schools, and streets remain, frozen in time. Personal belongings litter the floors. Vehicles rust where they were left. Playgrounds stand with swings still hanging in the wind. The zone is radioactive. Access is heavily restricted by law. Entry requires special permission. Beyond the physical threat, the city carries psychological weight. Visitors report a feeling of being watched, unnatural silence, cold gusts that seem to pass through walls. Pripyat is forbidden because human survival is not guaranteed. Its history whispers of decisions and lives abruptly interrupted. And its presence reminds us that some spaces belong to memory, not the living. Forbidden Place Number 8: The Vault of Secrets, Vatican City. Deep beneath the Vatican lies a library of knowledge few have seen. Restricted manuscripts, some thousands of years old. Documents that touch upon religion, history, science, and politics. Entry is limited to select scholars, approved by the Vatican itself. The content remains mysterious. Researchers report texts and artifacts too sensitive for public exposure. Some items are sealed with layered security, including coded locks and guardian protocols. The Vatican forbids entry not out of fear, but to preserve secrets. To protect knowledge deemed too dangerous or destabilizing if released. It is a reminder that forbidden places can exist in plain sight, yet remain unreachable due to authority, responsibility, or preservation. Forbidden Place Number 9, Mount Thor, Canada. In northern Baffin Island, Mount Thor rises from the Arctic tundra. It holds the world's largest vertical cliff, over 1,250 meters of sheer rock. Climbing is possible but highly discouraged. The mountain is forbidding because of gravity, ice, and isolation. The Arctic weather can change in seconds. Temperature drops can become lethal. Rock falls and avalanches occur unpredictably. Adventurers describe a feeling of being tiny against eternity. The cliff is silent, yet commanding. It does not invite, it warns. Mount Thor is forbidden not by law, but by the sheer consequence of misjudgment. Many have tried. Few survive. Even fewer return unshaken. Forbidden Place Number 10, Snake Island, Brazil, Deep Reserve. While previously mentioned, Snake Island holds more secrets than the surface suggests. Beyond its general restriction, the inner core of the island remains entirely inaccessible. Authorities allow only brief research visits. The density of golden lancehead vipers in some inner zones is thought to be absolute. Even seasoned herpetologists report psychological strain. A feeling of being constantly watched by the snakes. The ecosystem here is self-regulating. Humans interfere at their own peril. The island's interior is biologically forbidden, not politically, not legally. It serves as a powerful reminder. Some places do not need walls, fences, or laws. Life itself enforces the boundary. The common thread. From secret societies to extreme cliffs, abandoned cities, and dense predator-inhabited islands, these locations share a subtle truth. Human presence is not always natural. Some boundaries are enforced by nature. Some by authority. Some by the delicate balance of life itself. All of them are warnings disguised as mystery. They teach caution, patience, and respect. And when listening, notice how the tension is soft. Not sharp. Not alarming. It is gentle unease, enough to hold attention, but slow enough to allow your mind to drift. As you conclude this segment, imagine the next part of the journey. Places sealed by humans, yet still mysterious. Zones erased from maps. Sites where curiosity itself is considered too dangerous. Some locations are forbidden by law, others by history, and some by pure circumstance. Part 3 will guide you deeper into the world's most inaccessible and unapproachable spaces. For now, take a slow, deep breath. Feel the quiet tension settle, and allow your mind to rest between curiosity and caution. Part 3: The boundaries of earth and mind. As we move deeper into forbidden places, notice a shift. These locations are not simply dangerous or mysterious. They are psychologically disorienting, ethically complex, and sometimes exist on the very edge of human understanding. The boundary is no longer just physical. It is mental, emotional. A test of what it means to dare, but to respect limits. Allow your mind to drift with the narration. Let each word guide you gently into spaces humans are rarely meant to witness. The pace is slow. The tension is subtle. And the silence between sentences is as important as the words themselves. Forbidden place number 11: The door to the underworld, Italy, Cimitero del Fontanelle. In Naples, Italy, lies a cemetery unlike any other. The Cimitero del Fontanelle is carved into caves, holding thousands of skulls and bones. Originally a burial ground for plague victims, it is now sealed and restricted in certain areas due to preservation concerns. Visitors report a subtle unease. The bones seem to watch silently. Shadows play tricks in the flickering candle light. The air is thick with history, and somehow, with judgment. What makes this place forbidden is not supernatural. It is memory made physical. A weight of human loss so concentrated it becomes psychologically challenging. Even guides advise brief visits. Spending too long can induce a feeling of being absorbed into the space itself, as though the past resists forgetting. Forbidden place number 12: The Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. One of the hottest, most inhospitable places on Earth, the Danakil Depression is a geological wonder. Sulfur lakes glow in neon colors. Salt flats stretch endlessly. Fumaroles spew gases into the blistering air. The temperatures are extreme. The terrain shifts. Even experienced guides describe the region as alive, unpredictable, and almost hostile. Few humans attempt extended travel here. Heat stroke, dehydration, and sudden volcanic eruptions make it lethal. Locals warn that this is the land where the earth itself resists intrusion. Some say the depression emits a subtle vibration, felt in bones rather than heard. It is an ancient, almost sentient forbid dance, reminding humans they are temporary visitors. Forbidden place number 13: The Door of No Return, West Africa. Along the coasts of Benin and Ghana, the infamous Door of No Return stands as a historical monument. Not a literal door, but a symbolic threshold. It was the final exit point for enslaved Africans being shipped across the Atlantic. No matter how long one studies history, the site carries a psychological weight beyond comprehension. The air feels heavy. The wind seems to echo voices from centuries past. Even the ocean waves appear solemn, deliberate. This is a place humans are forbidden to enter fully, emotionally. One may walk the site physically, but the collective trauma and memory are untouchable, untamable. It is a reminder that some boundaries are ethical and historical, not physical. Forbidden Place Number 14, Pavaglia Island, Italy. Between Venice and Lido, Pavaglia Island remains one of Italy's most infamous forbidden locations. Once a quarantine station for plague victims, then a mental asylum, it is abandoned today. Official access is illegal. Yet explorers speak of an unsettling atmosphere. The air smells of damp decay and faint antiseptic. Floors creak where no human treads. Shadows seem to move just beyond the line of sight. Researchers warn that spending time on the island can induce dizziness, vertigo, and sudden panic. Pavaglia is forbidden because it is haunted not just by spirits, but by human memory and suffering. It serves as a caution. Some places are dangerous not in the usual sense, but because history itself resists intrusion. Forbidden Place Number 15, The Door to the Void, Russia, Kola Superdeep Borehole. In the remote Murmansk region lies one of the most ambitious human attempts to penetrate the Earth itself, the Kola Superdeep Borehole. Drilled to over 12 kilometers deep, it is the deepest man-made point on the planet. The project uncovered things humans were not expecting. High temperatures that contradicted geological predictions. Strange acoustic anomalies. Rock formations that seem to vibrate or hum when disturbed. The hole is now sealed to the public. Some researchers claim the Earth itself resisted human intrusion. Others report lingering anxiety after visiting the site. The borehole is forbidden because some depths are too extreme, too alien, too impossible to integrate with human understanding. It is a literal and metaphorical reminder. The deeper we go, the less the Earth belongs to us. The unseen forces. What do all these places share? They are forbidden not always by danger, nor by law, nor by wild animals alone. They are forbidden because human presence violates balance. Physical balance, historical balance, psychological balance. Even the strongest, bravest explorers acknowledge this. Some leave, unnerved. Some return, unable to describe the experience. Some never return at all. The forbidden is not always dramatic. It is subtle, quiet, persistent, and it is everywhere. In the next segment, we will explore the most extreme forbidden places, where human curiosity is actively resisted, places sealed by natural force, human law, or ethical necessity. Part 4 will complete this series. Zones erased from maps. Forbidden islands. Sealed tombs and vaults. For now, allow your mind to rest. Feel the weight of silence. Let your imagination wander at the edge of these boundaries without crossing them. Breathe slowly. Listen to the soft tension. This is the calm unease that defines the truly forbidden. Part 4, where humanity must stop. By now, you may notice something. The forbidden is not always violent. It is not always loud. It does not always scream danger. Sometimes, it simply stands still and waits. In this final part, we move beyond mystery, beyond danger, beyond curiosity, into places where humanity has drawn a line. Places we could enter, but choose not to. Places that remain sealed not because they cannot be opened, but because opening them would cost too much. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts soften. We are approaching the edge. Forbidden place number 16, the Surtsey Island Reserve, Iceland. In 1963, the ocean south of Iceland erupted. For years, lava rose from beneath the sea. Ash clouded the sky. Steam carved pillars into the air. And slowly, a new island formed. Surtsey. Born from fire. Unlike most land masses, Surtsey is forbidden for a unique reason. Humans are not allowed to step on it freely. Access is strictly restricted to a handful of scientists. Why? Because Surtsey is a living experiment. It is one of the only places on Earth where researchers can observe how life begins on new land without human interference. No tourists. No footprints. No accidental seeds carried on shoes. Even scientists must disinfect clothing before landing. The island is protected from us. Not because it is dangerous, but because we are. And that quiet truth feels heavier than any threat. Surtsey teaches that sometimes the most respectful action is absence. Forbidden place number 17, the Sentinel Glacier Crevasse Fields, Antarctica. Deep within Antarctica lie fields of ice fractures so unstable that even satellites struggle to map them accurately. These crevasse fields stretch for miles. Thin snow bridges conceal vertical drops hundreds of feet deep. Entire expeditions have disappeared in these zones. Not dramatically. Not loudly. Just gone. White swallowing white. Researchers mark these regions as no-go zones. Even trained polar explorers avoid them when possible. The ice shifts constantly. What was safe yesterday collapses today. Standing there, one would hear almost nothing. No birds. No insects. No distant wind. Only the soft cracking of ancient ice adjusting under its own weight. This place is forbidden because stability does not exist there. And humans depend on stability. Forbidden place number 18, the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, United States. Beneath a mountain in Colorado lies one of the most secure military installations in the world. The Cheyenne Mountain Complex. Massive blast doors. Granite shielding. Self-contained systems designed to survive catastrophe. Few civilians will ever enter its inner chambers. Its purpose is continuity to preserve command structures in case of nuclear war. The facility is not mysterious in the mythological sense. It is methodical, engineered, precise, and entirely sealed to those without clearance. forbidden not because of supernatural fear, but because of the knowledge it protects. It is a reminder that humanity prepares for its own worst scenarios quietly, beneath stone. Some doors are closed because the information behind them changes the world. Forbidden place number 19, the Chernobyl Elephant's Foot Chamber. Though the Chernobyl exclusion zone can be visited in limited ways, one location remains effectively unreachable. The chamber containing the elephant's foot. A mass of melted nuclear fuel formed during the 1986 disaster. When first discovered, radiation levels near it were so high that exposure for minutes could be fatal. Even today, access is severely restricted. Robots degrade. Equipment fails. Concrete cracks under invisible assault. Standing near it is like standing beside a silent sun radiating energy long after the explosion faded. It is forbidden because time has not yet neutralized it, and may not for generations. The chamber waits. Silent. Unforgiving. Forbidden place number 20, the Mariana Trench Challenger Deep. Permanent depth. Earlier, we spoke of the Mariana Trench. Now we go deeper still. Challenger Deep. The lowest known point in Earth's oceans. Though a few manned descents have occurred in history, the depth remains fundamentally inaccessible. Each visit requires years of engineering, extreme funding, precision beyond tolerance for error. And even then, humans remain for only hours. The pressure there is crushing beyond imagination. Metal bends. Glass threatens to fracture. Darkness is absolute. If a vessel fails, rescue is impossible. Challenger Deep is forbidden because permanence is impossible there. Humans can visit, but cannot stay. It is a realm where biology is alien and physics dominates. We are guests, fragile, temporary. The final boundary. Across this entire journey, parts 1 through 4, a pattern has emerged. Forbidden places fall into 4 categories. Places nature defends. Places history seals. Places law protects. Places reality itself rejects. And beneath all of them lies a deeper truth. Human curiosity is infinite. But human presence is not universal. There are spaces where we do not belong. Not because we are weak, but because belonging requires harmony. And harmony is not guaranteed everywhere. Why forbidden places fascinate us? We are drawn to what we cannot access. Psychologists call it the forbidden fruit effect. Restriction increases desire. But when the forbidden carries consequence, real, irreversible consequence, desire becomes reflection. Why do we need to see everything? Why must every door open? Why must every map be filled? Sometimes the unknown is not a gap to conquer. It is a boundary to respect. The quiet lesson. The Earth is older than us. It has survived extinction events, ice ages, and cosmic impacts. It does not require our approval. Forbidden places are reminders of humility. They whisper, "You are powerful but not absolute." And in that whisper lies peace. Because if some places remain beyond us, then mystery remains alive. And mystery is not the enemy. It is balance. Closing the journey. Now, as this series ends, allow your thoughts to slow. Imagine standing before a massive sealed door. Cold metal. No handle. No keyhole. Just silence. You do not knock. You do not push. You simply stand. And then you turn away. Not in fear, but in understanding. Some places are not meant to be entered. And that is enough. Let the quiet settle. Let the forbidden remain untouched. Rest now,